Welcome to Uncanny X-Minutes, where we bring you the comics behind the movies. I'm Producer James.
And I'm Stasia.
And we are finishing the Wolverine, minutes 120 to 126.
I'd ask you what happened, but it's just the credits.
Just credits.
Yeah.
Just 6 minutes of credits.
You know what that means, James.
Yes, we're going to talk about every crew member that made this movie. No. So it's a wild card episode.
Yes, and I am really excited. So basically, I'm going to use this opportunity, and I think you are too, to talk about somebody who's never going to get any love in any other situation. That's what the credits are for us to shove in our favorites to talk about them, because we can. And yeah,
what character do you love in the comics that you know they're never going to use?
Yeah.
If they used, I would freak out.
I would have a meltdown.
Like, average Q comic book movie watcher would be like, who now?
Yeah. You'd be like the person be like, oh, some guy when you left the theater. And I'd be like melting into the ground because it's like fan service.
Like, even if they were in the background, just hanging out.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, there he is.
Alas, the character that I'm bringing today is probably never going to be in one. I want to talk about him. So,
okay.
I want to talk about, and foreshadowing, a Weapon X member that we haven't talked about yet, if you can believe it. It seems like we've talked about every single henchman. But no, there's one. And his name is Chamber. That's actually what he's known for. Yeah. Chamber. Yeah.
We've talked about Chamber every once in a while.
Occasionally.
Because he does pop in and out of our stories.
He is prolific. He's probably in more comics than some of these other side characters that we've mentioned. He's actually kind of major.
Look at when we were doing Wolverine Origins. How many characters you're in it, and you're like, you were only in like a dozen issues.
But they were just like so iconic. That is like not necessarily the case here. Chamber is iconic. He is also in a lot of issues. He's just around. Chamber, Jonathan, Jono, Evan, Starsmore. That's his full name. Jono is his nickname. He is English, and he's a mutant that was introduced in the Generation X comic. So that's 1994. So that's Scott Lobdell and Chris Baccello? Sorry.
I always say Baccello.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It could be like Bacalo, and I'm just completely off.
I will say he is a favorite character of mine because he's like this moody guy, like very brooding. Like there's a joke in one of his early issues of Gen X, like in the first 5 issues, where he's like talking over to his shoulder to a couple other kids that are in the living room, literally playing Scrabble, and he's like literally soaking in the rain outside, and they're making fun of him for it. Like he really leans in to that energy, which is why I like him.
I was going to say he's cool. Like
but cool.
That is like at the time though, in 90s brooding equaled cool.
Yeah, he is cool. And he is introduced cool, like the shots of him in like Gen X #1. I was like going through it. I'm like, Gen X #1 comic is like awesome. I actually really like the art in it. I thought it looked cool. We have Emplate, who we've talked about before, who's in this comic, and he has like some of the iconic shots of him were from issue 1, and I was like, oh, okay, I've seen that. Chamber is cool because he has a really awesome mutation. And also a really horrible mutation. So Chamber
is like one of the few mutations that is like detrimental to him physically.
Really is. So he's a chamber of energy. They refer to him as that, which is where he gets his name, from his like mouth, so like right underneath his nose, to his navel. Now that's like the official first introduction of it. I would say how far that chamber of energy goes down to his stomach varies very wildly.
Well, because he's usually wearing a shirt, you know.
You would be surprised, actually.
Really? All right. In the more recent comics, I feel like he's usually wearing a shirt. So it kind of, you just go down to the chest.
Yeah, but in any case, he is
Should I just Google shirtless chamber? Does that
you absolutely can. There is like a lot like this energy though has like destroyed his body, like his heart and his lungs, and it is like constantly going, and so like the energy isn't just like a bright light. Like a lot of times they're kind of depicted as flames, but I want to introduce you to like the first page introduction for him. This is a little girl is staring at him on an airplane, and this is what she says. Hey mom, this guy has a bionuclear psionic biokinetic field compressed in his chest. That's how she describes it. And you're like, oh, that's kind of silly and precocious. And they were doing like a little bit there. But it is a kinetic energy. It's kind of drawn as flames, but like in the first couple issues especially, they're kind of drawn blue and sparkly, which was really cool. I kind of wish they had stuck with that.
They probably wanted to move away from like a kinetic energy because that's Gambit's thing.
Yeah, but they
probably changed it more to a flame because his name's Chamber and the psionic flames look cool.
Yeah, I would say they all looked really cool. I like the blue a lot, but in any case, that's his power. So he can like channel energy and stuff, but like it is a detriment to him because like it has like destroyed his lungs, his heart. Yeah. He doesn't need to breathe. He can't eat.
He communicates. It's interesting because the way they show him communicating is still speech bubbles, but they do the thing where they artistically give him speech bubbles to show that he is speaking psionically because he doesn't have a mouth.
Yes, he is telepathic. And like if he loses that power, he cannot communicate to people. That happens like in the story. He is very cool, and we're going to talk more about him, but just like from an angle of like this guy is never going to be in a movie, that's impossible. That's impossible. Yeah. Every scene.
There is, I mean, he does get looks where he just like has a scarf or a turtleneck up to his nose. So like they would have to do that.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong. He doesn't do that most of the time, though. That's the thing.
No.
Like, it is a look that is used, but it is not his like dominant look.
Yeah. And I also like he is a mutant that like very specifically like will rebel against the concept of having to hide sometimes. Right. Like, so it is kind of weird. And he's, especially when he's in the school, he's not going to have the turtleneck on. So like,
because he's amongst his people. No.
Right. So like, how do you film that? Because you would then have to kind of change his character to be like ashamed all the time, which is not really how he's portrayed. But yeah, so I see why, due to CGI budgets, why this is not going to happen, or if it is, it's going to modify the character. But he's a pretty cool guy.
This is the same reason they didn't have Beast in the first movie.
Yeah, the fur.
He was too expensive. That's why they went with the normies, where like the most out of place person is wearing glasses.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like we can't spend that kind of budget. No. I'm honestly shocked that they did Nightcrawler. I would say that, but it.
Well, that was two. That was the second movie.
Yeah, that was the second one.
All right, let's try Nightcrawler, and then after that, they're like, all right, well, we'll give you a Beast.
He is also known for, I would say, his romance with Paige Guthrie.
Yes, did we go through? I think we did go through that in an episode.
We did.
Once.
I think that's like the one we were talking about Paige, and we were talking about the Guthries, and we did talk about it. So I'm not going to go like super in depth.
I think we were going with like unrequited romances. I think was our That's way back. I don't remember when that.
Yeah, they have a very complicated relationship. I think it's like a lot of it. The groundwork is laid in the Generation X comics, like from '94. But it's it happens all over like the comics. Like whenever they are reunited, there's going to be some sort of drama about it. Actually, that one of their dramas is what's kicked off the Weapon X participation. So okay. There is a storyline. So this is in 2002. It's the Weapon X. That's just the name of the comic issues. It's 15 through 18 is like the Chamber story. At this point in time, Paige Guthrie is dating Archangel.
Okay.
There's a bit of an age gap there, and Chamber has upset.
That felt like one.
It is. But they start this comic off being like surprised. Like he goes to a bar, he's drinking because he's upset about this, and then he gets into a fight with the X-Men, and then Wolverine beats him up, and like he punches Archangel, and they like leave him for the cops to take, which is like, you're like, whoa, that's not an X-Men thing. We don't leave our team members, even if they do try to burn down the neighborhood bar. We don't give them to the cops, right? They do. And then he gets an offer from Weapon X, and then you find out in the next issue, this is a job. So he's actually, they staged this with him and Wolverine did, as like a way for him to infiltrate the Weapon X program. And
oh, you know what? I was just looking at it now. I did read this during the Weapon X, one of the Weapon X episodes, but it's interesting, but didn't have to do with what we were talking about. But now you're talking,
yes.
I remember him infiltrating, because then, yeah, keep going. I don't want to jump ahead.
Well, we're getting right to it, because the thing about it that is so cool here is that Weapon X reconstructs his body, and he ends up with like an Iron Man style like implant in his chest that is like where it's focused, and he kind of has a body for a little bit. Which is very cool. It's very cool, but at the same time, you're like, I don't know who that is. Like, without his flaming hot chest, you're like, who are you? Yeah. But I think it sets up for the most tragic, sad thing. And, like, let me tell you, this is exactly how a Chamber story should go. He's, like, got his full body back, like, whatever. M-Day happens. He is depowered. He has to be rushed to a Shi'ar healing thing, and he's like there for a very long time. Oh yeah, because he has no heart, he has no lungs. If he was like if they did not have Shi'ar technology, he would not live. So he is like held in stasis, and is like only healed like later in the new Excalibur run, where they just pump him, his dad. We can't get it. I'm not going to get into why his dad is part of the clan of Apocalypse. It's not important. But I will say they pump him full of Apocalypse's blood, and then he gets an Apocalypse style body for a little bit. Oh, man. Which is like, okay. And it's like he hates it and whatever. But when he is part of the New Warriors, he is actually in that Apocalypse body, and he goes by Decibel, and he actually has the Banshee kind of like sonic yells, which is super cool, because in Generation X, when they're at the school, I probably should have mentioned this is on under Xavier. He's invited by Xavier, but the school is being run by Emma Frost and Banshee, Sean Cassidy. So like he gets that sonic yelling power when he's reconstructed as the Apocalypse kind of guy in New Warriors, and I think that's kind of fun. That's wild. I did not know any, because he looks like Evan, like Apocalypse's clone. From, he does. Uncanny X-Force. I think that's and also Wolverine and the X-Men too, and Wolverine and the X-Men. Yeah, because he's got the Apocalypse mouth that you're talking about, but looks like an adult version of Evan. Yeah. That's funny. It's pretty interesting. It's like, and that's basically for the whole New Warriors run. He looks like that. He gets reverted though, because like if you go to Krakoa, you've seen Chamber. He looks like he did in Generation X. And so you might wonder what happened. Like we have this reconstructed body by Weapon X. That goes away. We got the M-Day happens. We got Apocalypse body after that. And then now, if you didn't catch it, what happened between, like, you're like, why does he look like Chamber again? The tiniest story. Let me tell you, I had to hunt this down. I could not figure out when this happened. And it's hard, because with Krakoa, sometimes it's just the answer is Krakoa. It was almost like everyone was given a reset button. Yeah, the thing is, there was a little bit before Krakoa. He's back too, so you're like, oh, like you knew that something had happened. In X-Men Legacy, issue 248. Do you remember the Age of X storyline? Yes, not terribly well. I know of it. Yeah. For our listeners, this is Legion. So Professor Xavier's son. We've talked about him. I am a huge fan of him. Also love Legion. We've done an episode about him already. Also, I would have. But he has like a reality that he constructs for Age of X, where he is like he becomes a superhero in this like alternate reality that he constructs, and then and he brings other people who are in Utopia with them, because this is the Utopian era, into this alternate reality to like live out different lives, and they don't remember what happened in the 616. Basically, when he does that, Legion, whose real name is David, makes Chamber his old self. He does not bring him in as like an Apocalypse style person. And then when Age of X is done and they bring him out, there's a scene in 248, which is like the aftermath of Age of X, and it's Chamber isn't even in the scene. It's Cyclops talking to Dr. Rhea about how like they have scans of Chamber on like the wall behind them, and they're talking about how when he came back, he did not come back as Apocalypse, and they don't know how to reconstruct his body again. Like they don't have the skills that the Clan or Weapon X had when they reconstructed his body. And so he's just Chamber now, which is like sad for the character, but it's cool.
See, that one's tough because it's like, it's sad for the character, but for us, the audience, it's like you've done too much with him, and it's not in the way of like everybody knows.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, Logan turned into, or, you know, now we have old man Logan. We don't have regular Logan. Like that's something you can catch up to, and he's a main enough character, everyone will pay attention. With Chamber, it's like, what has he been in since Gen X that everyone is like, yay, there he is, you know?
Yeah, it's tough,
it's
right?
tough.
Like, because he was in the X-Men, so he wasn't uncanny for a little bit.
Yeah.
But he, like, kind of falls off a little. Like, he's so cool, though. Like, everybody likes him, but it seems like I think he suffers from the fate of being one of the Gen X kids, unfortunately, who don't get a lot of love.
Yep. Nope. The Gen X kids kind of get fallen off a little bit. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, any of the, I'd say the New Mutants get off the best. Like, I feel like they keep coming back. And then Gen X is fine, because Gen X and on, like all the new teams, like one or two characters keep going, but not all of them.
Yeah, you'll get like like Quentin Quire is one of the newer introductions, and he's just going to be here forever. But Jubilee is going to be here forever. Yeah. But like, not everybody gets the same fate, unfortunately.
Laura, X-23, she's here to stay. Don't worry about it. Like there are pinnacle characters that will continue to be used in future stories, and just Chamber isn't one of them.
Well, he is, but like he is always going to be the first person you draw in the background.
That's what I mean. He's such an interesting person to look at, but nobody's brought him into a story in a bit that we all remember.
Say that I haven't read it yet, but he's in a bunch of Infinity comics apparently, and he is also in the new Weapon X 2025 run.
Oh, see, I haven't read that one yet.
I haven't read that. Apparently he's in that. So I think it's really interesting that they're like bringing him back to that Weapon X storyline that they touched on.
Oh, I take that back. No, I do. I have read this one.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
apparently
is back.
He's in that. Yeah. And he's always been moody. Like that's like been his character. He's like a moody guy.
Oh, yeah, no, he's moody in this too.
Yeah, so that's the character. If he's not moody, is it really Chamber? But
no.
I think it's fun to like put him back with Wolverine, and so like, hey, this is a Wolverine movie. I would have liked to see him here. I completely understand why he's not, though.
Right. Yeah. For my character, I thought I'd go with a villain, because the one thing some of the X-Men movies lack are good villains. And there are good. Yeah. There's so many good villains. Why aren't we using them? You know.
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be Apocalypse. Not everything needs to be like a huge, universe-ending Dark Phoenix. You know. Yeah. Sometimes let's bring it down. Let's bring it back. Let's go basics, you know? So my guy that I wanted to do isn't even a mutant. So I went with Arcade.
Oh, Arcade.
My man, Arcade. I love, if you don't know his deal, it's simple. He kidnaps heroes and throws them in like a dangerous set of games that are usually based around like amusement parks. And he calls it Murder World. So it's weird though, because like he is, well, I guess let's start with like he was created by Claremont and Byrne for Marvel Team Up number 65. So we're talking a Spider-Man Captain Britain comic.
Weird.
Yeah, but here's the thing that's great about Arcade. He isn't just an X-Men villain. He is created in such a way that anyone can use him. You could put him up against anybody. It's great. So his deal is, first off, we don't know his name.
At all?
At all. Unknown name. What we know about him is that he most likely killed his rich parents when they cut him off.
Okay.
So what he does, he was an assassin for a while and got bored of it. So what he did was like, you know what? Why don't we have some fun? So people pay him to take out superheroes. I think it starts off as like $1 million a hit.
Okay.
So then he kidnaps the person, puts him in Murder World, and is like, this is how we're going to kill you, which is hilarious because he's kidnapped these people. He could easily kill them, but that's not sporting. He almost has a Saw vibe where it's like, it's not as aggressive as Saw, but like, there's always a way to win.
Yeah.
He usually sets up these, because there's Murder World, but Murder World's always designed for whoever he's kidnapping. So he'll create little scenarios, little escape rooms, if you will, for the specific characters. Okay, so like, when he does get the X-Men for the first time, he puts Storm in something that plays with her claustrophobia. Mm-hmm. She has to overcome or like get through that. Colossus gets brainwashed to be like a socialist warrior of Russia, but that goes by the proletariat. Like, it's they're like he studies his people and he puts things up against them, but there's always a way to get out. It's not just like a death trap. It's a game. Yeah. He's there for the game.
I don't read a lot of Batman, but I do feel like I vaguely felt like when I was watching the animated show, Joker kind of sometimes had this vibe where he would like have his like, but Joker always just feels like there wasn't a way out for the Joker. Arcade, you're saying is kind of the difference.
Yeah, that's a death trap. Where it's like, this is just going to kill you, but it's going to kill you in an entertaining way for me.
Right.
Whereas like, Arcade's like, I want to have fun, but I want to have fun knowing there is a way you can win. I want to see if you can figure it out. He's a game master.
It's a game, and it's like, it's a very hard game, but if you manage to win, okay.
But he's also a character that's never gone away. He keeps popping up again and again and again, and it's never always X-Men.
That is kind of weird, especially because he's kind of goofy. Like, even if it is, yeah.
He is 100% goofy. You would, if you find an Arcade comic, he is always wearing a white 3-piece suit with the goofiest bow tie, like polka dotted bow tie, and a big tussle of red hair. Mm-hmm. He is not cool. Like,
no.
In any stretch of the imagination, he's the goofiest goofball you've ever seen. And I love it. Like, a lot of the times in some of the earlier appearances, he kidnaps people with a garbage truck.
Well, garbage truck. Interesting.
Yeah, he'll drive a garbage truck up to a hero, and then, like, this mechanical piece in the back shunks in front of him.
Oh, my gosh.
It captures the hero that way.
This does give Spider-Man energy.
It is. It was the first one with Spider-Man. And even when the X-Men get captured for the first time, Spider-Man hears the sound and goes, "That sounds familiar," and then tries to warn the X-Men, but he doesn't have time. He can't. They get captured. But it's so good. It, in my opinion, would be great to use. Like, now that we're in this era of, like, hopefully the X-Men and the rest of the Marvel universe are going to be coexisting. This is a very fun, like, you could do a Disney Plus show like this. You could just do one-off movie with it. I honestly would love seeing them. Like, there's one that I was reading where it was the Thing was kidnapped, but it was the Thing with Constrictor and Tony Stark not with his suit, and somebody else. So the only gripe I could see with someone having is he doesn't feel like he is deadly enough, because I mean, it's a superhero comic. The heroes are going to escape, but he's an honorable man, and he's always like, yeah, no problem, you get going. There is one storyline that's a little more recent. It was in 2012. And it's called Avengers Arena. And this is kind of around when the YA book craze was going on. So your Hunger Games, your Maze Runner, your Divergence.
Oh, I see where this is going.
So he kidnaps a bunch of young Avengers, puts them on an island, and goes, y'all got to kill each other.
Okay.
And people died. Like, actual characters died during this run. And X-23 is even on there. So, like, there's your X-Men connection. But obviously she survives because she's X-23. And you would have heard about it.
Yeah. Also, that's, like, kind of unfair. You put all... I mean, the Young Avengers are powerful or whatever, but, like, come on.
But it is... The island is set with, like, traps and the same kind of silly stuff he likes to do. But he also is saying you have to kill each other.
I find that, like, kind of interesting, though, because, like, like you said, this craze was hitting, I guess, like, was in all of these, like, YA books. And so, like, that is a really smart way to use, like, if you're going to introduce, like, some younger X-Men, you could do this storyline with them, and it would feel dangerous, because
He's similar to, like, a Mojo vibe.
Yeah.
But more realistic, because, like, Mojo's so technologically advanced, he almost seems magic.
Yeah, it is basically magic.
Because he turned them to babies one time. Like, that's what we're talking about. Arcade likes to use, like, hard light projections, as they call it, like holodeck stuff from Star Trek. He likes to use robots all the time. So many robots. But, like, robots of people. Like, he will create... like, Thing had to fight the Hulk. But it wasn't the Hulk. It was a robot of the Hulk that he made as strong as the Hulk. Or, like, comparable.
Yeah.
So there's this element of, like, can you trust what's in front of you? Because there's been a few arcade stories where somebody would go into Murder World with someone else. And then, they found the robot stash. And then replace themselves with a robot. So they're fighting side by side, but they don't realize, like, I reprogrammed that guy. That wasn't me. So the robot dies, and you're like, wait a minute. Was that person ever there? It's, like, messes with perception, both with the projections and the robots. Like, there's a lot you can do with arcade that is just baked into being arcade, and it doesn't have to be a huge world-ending story. It's just a story of survival and being messed with. You can manipulate the people. You can get through. Like, it'd be better for a later stage movie where there's already drama that you can resolve by using arcade.
Yeah. He's not exactly street level because he's not, like, breaking into banks or whatever, but he's, like, in that middle tier right in between before we start getting to, like, huge, like, country or world, threats or whatever. It's like, arcade is not going to overthrow the U.S. government, probably. But
he doesn't care.
Is going to take over a few counties to, like, do some weird stuff. Like,
but in order to build a new murder world.
Right, exactly. To do the thing he was already going to do. So I think that's
what I think I love. he's not like, he's like whimsical. Like, he's not insane, but he's also not sane.
Yes, definitely true. Definitely true.
And I guess the only other like thing you might know about him, he often has two henchmen that go by Miss Locke and Mr. Chamber. Miss Locke is the one you're going to see more often than not. Mm-hmm. And during the like late 90s, early 2000s, he actually kills her and replaces her with a robot. But then you still have Miss Locke there. Like,
yeah.
But, she's a robot. Whatever. But yeah, but they're never going to do it. He is a B tier villain, but he's a B tier villain that keeps showing up because they can bring him in for a couple issues, a small run. It could be 1 issue. It could be 5 issues. It doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah. Could you think if they just changed the outfit, maybe we could get him? I find it hard to believe
a nice white suit. It's fine.
I don't know. That seems like a hard sell.
They put Kingpin in a white suit at one point.
Yeah, but Kingpin was scary. Arcade is not scary.
I don't think he's supposed to be scary.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the polka dot bow tie, maybe a little much.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. There was one point he did get some like Jubilee's like boom boom sunglasses, and it didn't work. It's fine. They were trying to make him a little more menacing. Don't make him menacing, because he like, if he even shows up in Murder World, it's not him. It's either a hologram or it's a robot. It's not him.
He's smart enough then to be around. But, yeah, right. Not ideal.
He's just there to mess with people. That's all. You just can't know where he is. So he doesn't need to be particularly imposing. He just needs to mess with everyone. But he's my favorite. He's my favorite, like, little weirdo.
He's a good. That was a really good choice. That, you're right. They could use him. They're not going to, though.
No.
I actually feel like they probably would never. I mean, well, that's not true. We don't know what the future of the X-Men movies are going to look like. But if the past X-Men movies are anything to go by, this kind of like, I don't know, like you said, B-tier villainy is not really their bread and butter. That's not what they're using the X-Men for. That's like an Ant-Man kind of thing.
The closest I think we had is when they did New Mutants, where they actually like brought the scale back down and made it more about the characters in a situation. Yeah. That is closer to the vibe of what an arcade movie would be. Bring in some new young mutants that get kidnapped. You know, it doesn't have to even be the adults.
It could be the prequel into the school if you're going to follow it. Like, if you're really just going to go off script, which like you could. I mean, we don't know what they're going to do, but I mean, that'd be kind of fun. I kind of like that. Like you said, I think younger mutants is good because like there's like a point, like obviously like earlier, like you said, Storm and them were caught, but I remember that run and it was very early.
We're talking like, that's the Claremont run where not everyone is power creeped to the level they are now. Yeah.
Nowadays, what are you going to do? You can't really put anybody. You can't put Scott Summers in a box. Like it's not going to work.
Well, with Scott Summers, they gave him there's like this classic game where there's three doors. One is the exit, one's a tiger, and one's something else. Like, it's supposed to be there's only one actual answer, but the trick is none of them are the right answer. And if he uses his powers, a wall's going to squish him. Like, a wall's coming towards him.
That's funny.
So he knew. He's like, there's no way for me to know which one is the actual exit. And instead, what I'm going to do is choice D, which is to shoot the wall perpendicular to the doors. And then escape that way. And that was the answer.
Yeah, that makes sense. That also makes sense. Just like let him blast his way out because he's gonna anyway. Like.
Yeah. Nightcrawler was in like this domed room that's almost like there's no corners. And then bumper cars came at him with blades that could also go on the ceiling. That's what I'm talking about. Put these people in glass balls and hit them in a big, giant pinball machine.
You know what? Maybe Chamber isn't that expensive.
No, but see, that's the thing. Chamber's just standing around is expensive. Arcade is the spectacle.
Yeah, that's true. It's the part of the movie.
If I were making this movie, if I were making this arcade movie that does not exist, I was thinking, because there are parts where they're in a room and it's like they're in the middle of a World War II dogfight. And they're like, I can't tell what's real and what's not real. Like, I can tell there's some like Banshee was in there in one of these things. And he's like, I can tell some of it is real, but I can't tell what is and is not real. You do practical effects for all the real stuff and CGI for the fake stuff. You know, like, you play with the effects, you know, play with it. Show that there is something difference between the real and the fake. But that's just me. Anyway.
Well,
Arcade
hopefully
for Life.
they're out there listening. Yeah.
But that's it. We've finished another movie.
Yay.
We're going to take a little bit of a hiatus now before we come back with X-Men Days of Future Past. So
we're going to have a lot to say about that one.
Oh, man. Just from the get, there's plenty to talk about.
Yep.
So I'm Producer James.
I'm Sasha.
And we'll see you for the next movie.